What's up guys, how are you guys doing? It's Austin here. I just want to give you guys a quick video about something that I'm finding, or I found from being an early on photographer. I would consider myself still relatively early on in photography. I've been doing it about 2 years, doing portrait work, haven't worked too much on landscape, but enjoy practicing with it. So the first big problem I found with photography initially was getting your camera. So you get the camera, you save up, and you maybe get lenses that you want or you think you're gonna want. And I noticed that you instantly, especially starting off with a crop sensor, you're gonna want to upgrade to full frame, which is a problem because ultimately it seems to be something that you're always chasing. I've talked to a couple photographers, and it's an initial thing for them too, is, hey, I just got this good equipment, it does this, but it's not ideally what you want. Because most of the time you're not gonna save up for that $2,000 A7R III, the $1,700 EOS R, or the Z7 from Nikon. So your first choice is probably gonna be a bundle kit lens, that's about $500, and the Rebel T7i or the Rebel T6 or something like that. So you're going to be chasing these specs and these features, and maybe you use your photography equipment a little bit and you're like, oh, I want this, but I realized the biggest and best investment is going to be your glass. Like, just with investing in glass, especially with Canon, whatever glass you invest in, you can end up using on your full frame camera when you end up upgrading to full frame, if you ever do end up upgrading to full frame. And glass ultimately is also something that's going to step your game up in terms of the quality of your image. Some of the glass actually comes with image stabilization inside of the hardware, for the bodies that don't typically have image stabilization inside of them. But like I said, so one thing to do is stick to your glass. Another big thing is find out what your camera is. Like, what are the things that it's actually good at? I noticed a big thing for me also was just I knew to shoot in RAW, but I never knew why. And watching YouTube videos and stuff like that is what ultimately led me, okay, so you can actually edit the photos that are in RAW. A lot of people say to shoot raw JPEG or shoot straight into JPEG because you get the nice colors. It's pretty much the photo's done for you. You can post right away. But if you're someone who wants to take photography serious, you're gonna want to be able to figure out how to edit photos. I myself am still learning how to edit photos. Like I said, because of the amount of time I've actually been shooting photos, it's a constant learning experience. But it's something that you should do, is just right off the bat shoot in RAW, figure out how to start editing, which actually leads into something before that, is learning to shoot in manual. Auto is awesome, and even aperture priority or ISO priority, something so it helps you out initially, is going to be good. But ultimately you're going to want to get to the point where you're just shooting in manual. It's super intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, you learn how to use your exposure, and you just watch a couple of tutorials, you can actually figure out how to really get what you want out of the camera. Because if you're shooting in auto, it's awesome, but your phone can do that, so why even buy the camera? So like I said, learn how to shoot manual would be a good start. I actually learned with the Nikon D3400 and shot in RAW. My photos were blurry because I had it in manual for some reason. My photos were super blown out. And ultimately, it's just a learning experience. And when you finally get to the point where you understand, okay, I love this, and I'm shooting in manual, and I understand it, you really are taking control of the camera and getting what you can out of it with the power of your glass. With your more expensive glass, you're going to get out and actually start shooting photos that you want, and you're going to see, okay, well, maybe my T7i is not ideal, but at least now when you're investing into a new camera, you actually are investing into something and gain the features that you're supposed to gain out of it. A lot of those cameras, awesome processors, but a lot of it's customization. They have a lot of customization for when you're shooting in manual. So if you're gonna upgrade to a camera, why do it if you don't know how to use the camera? Another thing I notice is people tend to invest in all these accessories, but I really think you should stick to the essentials, which would probably be a tripod for sure, so you can learn long exposure shots. Really, tripod, a lens hood for flaring. I notice a lot of cameras now don't come with lens hoods anymore, which is really odd. If you're into video, obviously get a nice solid mic. And I think those are actually pretty good bare essentials for, you know, your early photography, stuff like that. All right, guys, this is a quick video. I just want to give you guys a video for the week that I think is really important for an early on photographer like myself, and just an overall basic knowledge so that way you can avoid some of the things that I did, like investing into like 2 or 3 different bodies. All right, guys, I'll see you later.